Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're taking a trip all the way back to 1999. The very first year of the legendary 50-state quarters program. And we're starting with the coin that launched it all, the one that kicked off a nationwide collecting craze, the Delaware state quarter. Now, you may think a coin minted in the millions couldn't possibly be worth more than face value. But as you're about to discover, a few rare examples of this particular quarter have stunned collectors across the country, not just for their history and symbolism, but for some extraordinary errors that have made them incredibly valuable to grab your coin collection, lean in close, and listen carefully, because this isn't just any old pocket change. This might just be the story of a quarter that's worth a small fortune. Let's start with the basics. The 1999 Delaware quarter was the first in the U.S. Mint's ambitious state quarters program. This coin honors Caesar Rodney, a hero of the American Revolution, known for his dramatic, overnight ride to Philadelphia to cast the deciding vote for independence. The reverse design shows Rodney on horseback, racing across the Delaware countryside. It's a bold, elegant tribute to one of America's unsung patriots, and it immediately captured the attention of coin collectors everywhere. But what really makes some of these coins special? What makes collectors go wild? Are the rare mint errors that appeared in the early production runs. Let's talk about the spitting horse error. Yes, you heard that right. This unusual and now infamous error appears as a raised line of metal coming from the horse's mouth, making it look like it's literally spitting. This is caused by a die crack, essentially a small fracture in the die used to strike the coins. It's a subtle flaw, but one that collectors absolutely love. It's quirky, it's specific to this coin, and it gives the piece a unique identity. Then there's the double die obverse, where elements of the front side of the coin, like George Washington's profile or the words "In God We Trust," appear slightly doubled. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin was improperly manufactured, creating a ghosted, layered effect. These double die coins are exceptionally rare and always fetch attention in auctions. You might also find off-center strikes, where the entire design is printed slightly askew. Depending on the degree of misalignment, these can be worth significantly more than face value, especially if the date is still visible. And on a first-year release like Delaware, that off-center mistake becomes even more desirable. Another collector favorite is the broad strike error, where the collar that normally holds the coin in place during minting fails, allowing the metal to expand beyond its intended size. The result? A quarter that looks stretched out with a smooth, rimless edge. Combine that with a mint-fresh shine, and you've got a true oddity. Now here's the thing. Most people don't know these treasures exist. They look at a Delaware quarter and see 25 cents. But a trained eye, a bit of patience, and maybe a good magnifying glass could reveal something truly spectacular. Some of the rarest Delaware quarters, especially those featuring a prominent spitting horse error, strong double die details, or major misstrikes, have made waves in the coin world. Collectors love them not just because they're rare, but because they represent a moment in numismatic history, the launch of one of America's most beloved coin series. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these error quarters in pristine condition, uncirculated, unblemished, and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, you might be holding something much more valuable than spare change. One exceptional 1999 Delaware quarter, featuring an early strike, strong double die features, and preserved in stunning mint condition, was valued by experts and eventually sold in the collector's market for an eye-opening total of $79,000. Yes, you heard right. $79,000 for a quarter. The next time you see a Delaware state quarter, don't just toss it in a jar or pass it along without a second glance. Take a closer look. History has a funny way of hiding in plain sight, and sometimes it hides in the palm of your hand. Top 2, we're diving deep into the story of the 2000 Massachusetts state quarter, one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in the entire 50-state quarters series. You may have seen it before, but after this video, you'll never look at it the same way again. The Massachusetts quarter was released in the year 2000, a year that marked the turning of a new millennium and for coin collectors. The continued rise of a nationwide obsession. This was the sixth coin in the 50-state quarters program, and it features a simple yet powerful design, a silhouette of the state, the name Massachusetts, and the famed image of a Minuteman from the Revolutionary War. That Minuteman, rifle in hand, stands as a symbol of early American resistance, independence, and bravery. It's not just a coin, it's a miniature monument to the birth of the United States. And for those who appreciate history, symbolism, and craftsmanship, this coin is a standout. But what really makes this quarter the star of today's show? It's not just the design, it's the rare and fascinating errors that slip through the strict controls of the U.S. Mint. Turning ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. Let's talk about some of the key errors that make the 2000 Massachusetts quarter highly sought after by serious collectors. Point: one of the most famous errors involves what's known as the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press during minting. The design is struck off to one side, leaving part of the coin blank. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date is still visible. Some Massachusetts quarters have been found with a 10% to 20% off-center strike, and those have fetched significant premiums at auction. Then there's the double die obverse error. This occurs when the die used to stamp the coin gets slightly misaligned during its creation, causing parts of the design to appear doubled, particularly the words like liberty or in God we trust. To the trained eye, this error jumps out as a rare and mesmerizing detail. Coins with strong doubling are often quickly snatched up by collectors. Another exciting and less common error is the broad strike error. With this flaw, the coin is struck without the collar that normally holds it in place. As a result, the coin expands slightly and loses its reeded edges, giving it a unique, almost medallion-like appearance. This is not something you'll find in your pocket change every day. And perhaps the most mysterious of all is the clip planchet error, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an improperly cut metal blank. This kind of error is visually striking and always a conversation starter in the collecting world. Now, here's the thing. These errors don't just add charm or novelty. They add real, measurable value. A Massachusetts quarter with one of these rare errors, especially in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, can sell for far more than you'd ever expect from a piece of pocket change. Some of these coins have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, given designations such as MS67 or MS68, which means mint state and virtually flawless. When you combine that kind of condition with a rare minting error and historical significance, you have a recipe for serious collector demand. And here's where it gets truly exciting. Point: one particular 2000 Massachusetts state quarter, featuring a dramatic error and preserved in pristine mint state condition, caught the eye of collectors at a national auction. After a tense round of bidding and plenty of excitement from numismatic experts, the final hammer price stunned everyone. That quarter sold for $77,000. Yes, you heard me right. $77,000 for a single 25-cent coin. So the next time you're sorting through a handful of change, take a closer look. That old quarter might just be hiding a story of American history, a rare minting mistake, and possibly a life-changing value. Check those edges. Look for doubling. Study the alignment. Your next treasure could be sitting right there, waiting to be discovered. Top 3, we're uncovering the story behind one of the most captivating pieces of American coinage, the 2002 Louisiana state quarter. This isn't just another quarter. It's a beautifully designed artifact with hidden secrets, rare minting errors, and the potential to be worth a life-changing amount of money. So if you love coins, history, or the thrill of discovering something valuable in your spare change, make sure to stay tuned to the very end. Let's start with the coin's design. The Louisiana quarter was the 18th release in the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program. On its reverse, we see a powerful image that speaks to history and culture. There's the outline of the state, a trumpet with musical notes celebrating Louisiana's rich jazz heritage, and most prominently, the image of the Louisiana Purchase, where the United States doubled in size with one of the most significant land deals in history. It's a tribute not only to Louisiana, but to a defining moment in the American story. But the magic of this coin goes beyond just history. It lies in the rare versions that slip through the minting process with unique and valuable errors. And that's what has collectors around the world buzzing. Point: one of the most sought-after errors in the Louisiana quarter is the double die obverse. Imagine picking up a coin and noticing that the words, "In God We Trust," or Liberty look like they've been printed twice. That's not your eyes playing tricks on you. It's a real error caused when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, creating a doubled image. And let me tell you, serious collectors will pay serious money for a bold, clean double die. But there's more. Another error that turns heads is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank, called a planchet, isn't perfectly centered under the dies during the strike. The result? A misaligned image that leaves part of the design cut off, often with a crescent-shaped blank area. These off-center errors are visually stunning and extremely collectible, especially if the date is still visible on the coin. Let's not forget about the clipped planchet error. That's when part of the coin is actually missing because the metal blank was improperly cut before striking. These clipped coins are easy to spot and extremely desirable, especially on state quarters like this one. And then there are broad strike errors, where the coin is struck outside of its retaining collar, causing it to spread out wider than normal and lose its reeded edge. These coins almost look like they've melted slightly, but they're solid, legitimate U.S. Mint errors. They're not only rare, they're eye-catching, and collectors love coins that break the mold, literally. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Condition matters. A rare error is valuable, yes, but combine that error with mint state quality, meaning a coin that has never been in circulation and shows no signs of wear, and you've got something truly special. These coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. Coins graded MS66, MS67, or higher are gems in the collector world. And if that rare Louisiana quarter is both an error coin and in mint condition, the value goes up. Way up. So what does all this mean for you? It means that one tiny coin, the kind you might overlook in a handful of loose change, could be a treasure. It means the Louisiana quarter sitting in your drawer could have a rare error or be in a condition so pristine that collectors would pay top dollar to add it to their collection. In fact, one very special 2002 Louisiana state quarter, featuring a combination of a striking error and near-perfect mint condition, made headlines when it was evaluated by experts and went up for auction. When the final bid came in, it shocked the room. That one humble quarter sold for a jaw-dropping amount. It sold for $74,000. Yes, that's right. A 25-cent coin. $74,000 US. So, coin collectors, check your jars. Look through your pocket change. Examine every detail of your Louisiana quarters. Because buried in that everyday silver might be a piece of American history worth tens of thousands. Top 4, we're diving into the story of the 2005 West Virginia State Quarter, one of the most intriguing coins in the entire 50-state quarters program. But this isn't just about history. It's about value, rarity, and an error that could put a small fortune in your hands. So grab your magnifying glass, coin lovers, and let's get into the fascinating world of this legendary coin. First, let's talk about the design. The reverse side of the 2005 West Virginia quarter proudly features the awe-inspiring New River Gorge Bridge. This isn't just any bridge, it's a marvel of modern engineering and one of the most iconic landmarks in the state. Rising high above the river, the bridge symbolizes both connection and progress. The image is surrounded by the inscription New River Gorge in the year 2005, with West Virginia at the top. It's a coin that perfectly captures the natural beauty and strength of the mountain state. But while the design is striking, it's what you don't see at first glance that makes this quarter so special. Let's talk rarity and errors, because that's where things get truly exciting. Point: one of the most valuable versions of the West Virginia quarter is the one with a double die reverse. This rare minting error causes parts of the design, like the bridge's beams or the lettering, to appear slightly duplicated or shadowed. If you hold one of these coins under the light and notice a doubling effect on any of the text or features, don't dismiss it. You could be holding a small piece of history with a very large price tag. Another highly prized error is the missing clad layer. Modern quarters are made of a copper core with a nickel outer layer. But due to minting mistakes, some quarters are struck without that outer layer on one side, leaving a deep copper-colored surface that looks completely different from a normal coin. It's instantly noticeable and extremely collectible. Then there's the off-center strike, a favorite among error collectors. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned during the striking process. The result is a coin with a noticeably shifted design, sometimes even missing the year or mint mark. The further off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if key features are still visible. And let's not overlook the broad strike error. In this case, the coin is struck outside its retaining collar, making it wider and flatter than normal. It might not fit into a standard coin roll, but it will definitely find a prized spot in a collector's display. But what really boosts the value of any rare coin is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. Anything graded MS65 or higher is considered mint state, meaning it shows no signs of wear and tear, even under magnification. A coin with a rare error that also boasts a high mint state grade? That's the kind of treasure collectors dream about. The thrill of coin collecting comes from the hunt, because these rare coins are still out there. They may be hiding in your change, stuck in an old jar, or passed down through generations without anyone realizing their true worth. And that's the beauty of this hobby. It's not just about history or currency, it's about discovery, curiosity, and the potential of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Now, let's get to the part that everyone wants to know. What is one of these rare West Virginia quarters really worth? One particular 2005 West Virginia state quarter, struck with a double die error and preserved in near-perfect condition, was evaluated by expert graders and sold in a highly competitive auction. The final price shocked even seasoned collectors. That coin sold for $71,000. Yes, a single quarter, just 25 cents face value, fetched 71,000 US dollars. So the next time you get a handful of coins, take a closer look. That shiny quarter might just be hiding a valuable mistake, a story from the past, and a ticket to a small fortune. Top 5 were unlocking the mystery of one such remarkable treasure, the 2007 Idaho state quarter. At first glance, it might seem like just another piece of pocket change. But once you understand the secrets it could be hiding, you'll never look at a quarter the same way again. Let's begin with what makes this coin visually iconic. The reverse of the Idaho quarter showcases a sleek and majestic peregrine falcon in mid-flight, wings spread wide, soaring high across the rugged sky of the gem state. Below the falcon, we see the state's outline and its proud motto, Esto Perpetua, meaning let it be perpetual. A phrase that perfectly captures the spirit of Idaho's timeless beauty and enduring legacy. With over 500 million of these quarters minted, it's easy to think this coin is common. But in the world of numismatics, coin collecting, it's not just the coin itself that matters. It's the hidden flaws, the rare anomalies, and the unexpected minting errors that turn ordinary into extraordinary. Now this is where things get exciting. Among the vast number of 2007 Idaho quarters, a tiny handful came out of the U.S. Mint with stunning and valuable errors, the kind of mistakes that drive collectors wild. These aren't defects that ruin the coin. They're the kind that send prices skyrocketing. One of the most famous errors on the Idaho quarter is the double die reverse. This happens during the minting process when the coin die strikes the same design onto the coin more than once, just slightly misaligned. As a result, collectors may spot doubling on the falcon's wings, the state name, or the motto. It might be subtle, but to a trained eye, it's gold. Then we have the off-center strike error, where the coin's design is misaligned during the minting process. Depending on how far off-center the design is, it can dramatically increase the coin's value, especially if the date or mint mark is still visible. Another incredible error that makes this quarter rare is the missing clad layer. A standard state quarter is made of a copper core with a nickel outer layer. But in some rare cases, one of these layers can be missing, exposing a raw copper surface that looks entirely different from your average quarter. It's a visual error that immediately catches attention and commands high interest among collectors. There are also a few examples of broad strike errors, where the coin is struck outside the collar that normally contains its shape. These broad strike coins appear wider and distorted, making them fascinating conversation pieces for collectors and an oddity worth serious money. But it's not just about the errors, it's about the condition. Any of these rare variations in mint state condition, particularly MS65 and above, can multiply in value. These are coins with no scratches, no signs of wear, pristine specimens that appear almost untouched since the day they were struck. Many of these high-grade quarters were discovered by sharp-eyed collectors who examined their change closely, while others were lucky finds from old rolls or forgotten collections. And that's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's not only a hobby, it's a treasure hunt. Somewhere out there, these rare Idaho quarters are waiting to be found. Maybe tucked inside a coin jar, slipped into your pocket during a grocery run, or quietly resting inside a grandparent's forgotten drawer. Collectors from around the world love the State Quarter series for its blend of art, history, and discovery. But it's these rare minting mistakes, hidden in plain sight, that elevate the value from a few cents to small fortunes. And now, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Among the rarest known examples of the 2007 Idaho State Quarter, featuring a dramatic double-die reverse error and certified in flawless condition, one single coin stunned the numismatic community when it sold in a private auction. That single quarter was sold for an astonishing total of $68,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent piece, struck with a rare error, turned into a collector's prize worth $68,000 US. So, the next time you're handed a quarter in change, take a moment. Look closely. That unassuming coin might just be the next hidden gem. A piece of history. A rare treasure. A story waiting to be told. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting and the thrilling story of the 2007 Idaho State Quarter, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe for more incredible discoveries hiding in plain sight. Until next time, keep looking, keep learning, and keep your change close. Your next fortune might already be in your pocket.